Hello, welcome to Take Two Tuesday. Here we are, 10:02, not quite 10. I apologize. I'm 2 minutes behind, my own fault. I lost track of time. Today. It was just, and then I looked at 1 o'clock, and for some reason it's a little bit slow compared to the real clock. So 10:02, almost 10 o'clock. Welcome to Take Two Tuesday. My name's Ken. I'm here at the stamp. Oh, my name's kind of down there. What else? I'm missing something here. Let's see if I can fix that. It's supposed to say Ken Stamps of Life. What's going on here? I want to welcome you. Welcome all of you. Let's see who's out there with us. And if I can get rid of that, why is it not showing everything? There it is, Stamps of Life. Let's see who's in our chat. Hey, I see Ruth is here. Hi, Ruth, Gloria, Rhoda, Dawn, Phyllis, Shelby, Rochelle, Diane. Welcome all of you. Vera is here. She's always one of our early people. Welcome all of you. Hope you are having a fantastic Tuesday. This is the last day of the month. Can you believe it? September is just about done. It means new stamps and dies tomorrow. Tomorrow is October 1st. And I think Stephanie let you know there's some crazy stuff going on. So she'll be explaining it, but there will be some, hopefully, small delays with the October shipment. Please be patient. We've had some problems with the manufacturer of our stamps. So we are trying to get that sorted out. So we really appreciate your patience. And this is the first time we've had an issue like this, but we're going to do our best to deal with it and try our best to make everybody happy. But anyway, October 1st tomorrow, new stamps and dies. That will be exciting. One thing before I do move on to that, if you want to get the charming stamps and dies as a club member, where you get the extra discount. Today is the last day to get them. So these are great for Christmas, holiday cards. You're really going to use them a lot. And it's a great chance to get in the club, start saving, earning club points, all that fun stuff. So last day for those, okay? Die Hard Club or Stamp Club, the charming Christmas stamps and dies. So that means we are into the holiday season. We've got Halloween coming up and followed by Thanksgiving, and then we'll be hitting Christmas and New Year. So we've got a lot going on. And with it, we have like the fall season and winter season. So this is kind of like a peak time about for card making. There are so many different reasons to make cards this time of the year. So it will be exciting. And I hope you have plans to make lots of cards. And of course, Stephanie's been telling you about different ways you can sell some cards and make some money. That's one possibility. But you don't have to do it just to make money. You can do it just because you love to give a card a nice thinking of you sentiment, to somebody you care about. So that's what's great about card making is just it's something you can do hands-on. And it really means a lot to the recipient. So we're going to talk about that today, making cards. I have a couple die sets to check out. We are going to have some fun. I also have, let's see, I'll go over some of our rundown here in a second, but we'll have a few items to go over. We do have 2 different die sets. We are going to do some fun facts about, I don't know if you've ever heard of this thing. It's like called a Stroopwafel. So maybe you never heard of that. I had never heard of it until yesterday, but that's on the calendar of things to celebrate. Stroopwafel is one of them. So we're going to talk about it. It sounds good. It's something you can eat and you might enjoy. So if you never heard about it, we're going to talk about it and learn about that just for fun. Fun facts. We're going to do a game. We have a quiz today. It says this is a quiz only for straight A people, which probably leaves us all out, but we're going to try. We're going to try our best. And what else do we have going on? I'll give you the rundown here. Oh, real important tonight. I want to make sure you know tonight Stephanie is going to have do I even have a slide for that? Let's see. Nope, not there. A live, tonight with Stephanie club reveal, okay? That will be on tonight. Stephanie will be live at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Club reveal, plus there are new items on the website that are on flash sale. So you don't want to miss that, okay? That will be 5 o'clock. So if you're watching me now, what is that? What time are we right now? 10? That's in 7 hours. It'll be here before we know, but set yourself a little reminder on your phone. You want to tune in for that. Stephanie will share the new stamps and dies with you for our club members. And you can join the club at that time and get the brand new items. And you can see the new things that are on flash sale. I think you're going to really like them. There is lots of fun stuff always here at the Stamps of Life. What else do we have going on? We have, so I told you about the Christmas stamps. You do want to check out the website if you haven't been there lately. There's always something new. And we do have some fun stuff from the 25th, some embellishments. You've heard about the new gallery, right? The gallery's been upgraded. You can search a little bit better. And my understanding is it's easier to upload to, we have that. Let's see, this Thursday, this is real important. I know you guys all love this. Stephanie will do her HSN Sneak Peek. It's kind of like a preview this Thursday. I'm not sure if the items are on the website yet, the HSN website. We'll find out. We'll know by Thursday. But Stephanie will go through all the card samples. Sometimes she makes a little something. Normally, that's our crafting corner. But when HSN stuff comes out, there's a lot of excitement for that. So plan on that Thursday, okay? And then I don't want you to forget, it's 2 weeks from this Saturday. 2 weeks from this Saturday. What's going on? We have a store day here, right here at the Stamps of Life store. We're in Southern California in Laguna Hills, just off the 5 freeway. If you've never been here before, it's really easy to get to. We have tons of parking. The store will be open. And then in the back of the store, we have the demo room. Stephanie's going to demo back there. There will be some new fun items for you to take a look at. And then that usually lasts for like an hour and a half, the demo time. But then we just have a time to hang out. If you want to shop, we have shopping in the front. And you can get whatever you need to get your get ready for your fall and winter and holiday crafting. You can get it right here at the Stamps of Life store. We'll have the new items that will be on flash sale here in the store. And then we just kind of visit and hang out. You're welcome to shop for a couple hours. It goes till like 2 o'clock, and we'll have a good time. So I hope that you can join us. There's no cost, but we would love to have you come. The doors will open at 9, and again, we'll close around 2 o'clock, but it should be fun. Let's see what else. Oh, for fun, speaking of fun, we're going to have some school themed kind of things today when we're talking. So a question for you as we get going here, and this is our icebreaker. You've got to jump in the comment section and add your comments. Okay, I want to hear what you have to say. If you could go back to high school or even college, one of those, if you could go back to high school or college, what is a subject that you would like to learn more about now? Maybe you didn't really apply yourself to it while you were in high school or college. What would you like to go back and learn now? If you could go back in time, one subject, it could be PE. I think I would do something more music. I really have learned to enjoy music, so maybe I would pick up an instrument. So what would you do if you could go back in time? What would you go back and study? Maybe a certain elective. Like I heard one of the kids I know, he's going to school where they have wood shop. And that's not always common nowadays. When I was a kid, I had wood shop, and I didn't do metal shop, wood shop. And that was fun, hands-on. But a lot of the kids are missing out on those things. So if you could go back in time, maybe it's driver's ed. I remember driver's ed. There was some crazy driving there. I was probably one of the crazy drivers. But that's something that's not offered nowadays either. Most high schools driver's ed. So if you could go back in time, what would you go back and what class would you take? So let's see. We'll have a few answers here. Ruth says she does love the new gallery. That is great. Teresa says, will you have a story day live? I'm hoping to. That is the plan. Sharon. Oh, Sharon, I got to say thanks. Sharon, you sent me something nice, so I'm going to point that out here in just a second. I have it here. Sharon says history. Shelby says geology. Barbara is math. Sylvie says band and play clarinet better. Yeah. Teresa, math. Peggy, art. Deborah says art. And Gloria says history. Beth has art. And Donovan says geography and history. Great. Sharon says they wouldn't let girls take wood shops. Ah, wow. How rude. And she says she would have loved to enroll in either of those instead of home economics. Now, I remember taking home economics. And it was fun because they let us cook, and we made some weird stuff, but it was good. Vera Blue says music. Yeah, she'd do something with music. Don, math. Karen says finance. That's a good one too. And it'll be awesome. Let's see. What did Ruth say about her son? I didn't see that. Oh, Ruth, I missed what you said about your son. But okay, anyhow, let's see. Oh, please pray for my youngest son. Oh, boy. Whew. Yes, Ruth, we'll be praying for him. Tell me his name, okay, in the chat sometime. I want to be able to write it down, if you don't mind. What else? Ooh, let me get that little thing there at the top. So we are just going to get rolling here. If I ask any questions, sometime I like to pepper in some questions. I always appreciate you guys if you jump in the comment section. And then if you watch this at a later time, you can just add your comments down below, okay, in the comment section below. If you need prayer, add your prayer request down there. Lots of people will see it and pray for you. If you just want to comment something about the video, something you like or didn't like, whatever. If you want to comment, that helps us out. It helps us to get noticed. And then also like and subscribe is good. If you're not a normal subscriber to the Stamps of Life, please subscribe. It helps YouTube notice that we're popular, and they'll show more of our videos to you. And I think that's a great way for us to kind of get discovered and to grow the brand a little bit. We want to try to do that. You know, Stephanie's been putting out a lot of extra videos where we're trying to grow the brand. So we are trying our best. Let's see, I've got all that stuff. So we just kind of got rolling here. But my name's Ken. This is Take Two Tuesday. Once a week, we gather together and we look at items from the Stamps of Life here in our Stamps of Life studio. And again, I'm in Southern California. And once a week, we gather, we go over, sometimes dies, sometimes stamps, sometimes we make a lot of a card, sometimes just a little bit of pieces here and there. But we do some stamping and die cutting. Take Two Tuesday, we call it that because we're taking a second look at something from the past. A lot of you already have these items. So this is just a reminder for you that you have them and that you want to use them. And then for some of you who are new to the Stamps of Life, these products are new to you. So which is kind of like an introduction. So here is the Sharon, who is in our chat, sent me this really, really nice card. And I just got it in the mail yesterday. So I want to thank Sharon for this. And I thought I would show it off. And she has some real nice, kind words on the inside. Well, I'll keep that for myself. But this was the card that, now it's looking nice. Let me see, switch over there. Karen sent me this really cool card. I really like it. She's got some shiny stuff in there on the mailbox. It looks awesome. It says, for you. And it says, you are appreciated. And so that was really nice, Sharon. She sent me that card. And I think Stephanie got one too. I didn't see her card, but I did get that one. So thanks, Sharon, for sending that. That was really nice of you. Appreciate it so much. It made it. And I wanted to show it off. So that is great. Using our mailboxes to stamp. I think that's from a few years back. So that would be a good Take Two Tuesday item to show you. All righty, let's see. We're going to go ahead and get into our items today. Which one are we going to do first? Okay, we have first up. Now, I forgot to even recall the dates here, but let me go ahead and add that in. This is called Funky, Bold, Happy Everything word dies. So it just looked like this. It doesn't look like much. 2 dies you get in that set, okay? You get the shadow and you get the letters. And this is one of the ones that, you know, sometimes we recommend adhesive sheets. This is definitely one that I would recommend the adhesive sheets with. And the reason is because the die lines in here are pretty thin. And they've cut and they work and that's all fine and easy. But sometimes getting adhesive on the thin line things is a bit of a challenge. So if you put the adhesive sheet on whatever you're going to cut before, it will make your life a lot easier. Okay, so that is a recommendation with this. And we have a lot of different ideas for the Funky Bold dies. Let me show you these real quick on the website. Okay, we'll do that. And I think that will switch over for us. So here we are on the Stamps of Life website. And it's called Funky Bold Happy Everything die set. When is it from? May of 2021. So this is over 4 years old. And Happy Everything is kind of like you could just use this for just about every occasion. If you're celebrating a special day for somebody, it works. If you're just saying hello, it works for that. Thinking of you kind of cards. Just reminding, encouraging people. I think it's a really nice sentiment for that. Now, maybe Happy Everything isn't your thing. You're going, well, how could I really use that? Well, if you scroll down, you will find some other things here. And in our Funky Bold styles, there's Happy Birthday, Happy Anniversary, Happy Retirement, Happy New Year. They all have the same font as this one that I'm going to share with you today. So that's on the website. And there's some other dies there, Happy Birthday. There's the adhesive sheets that I've been speaking to you about. This one here is the one that I would recommend, this 10-pack of the regulars. You'll use them and you'll really love to have those. Now, let's look at our card samples. You can do that. There's the dies you get. Again, 2 of them. It says it measures approximately 4 inches by 2.5 inches. So the 4 inches would be the width of the bottom of the shadow right there, just so you know, okay? And then let's see, let's look at the card samples. So you just scroll through there. So you see how it works. You take the sentiments and you just add it to any fun image you have. Easy, easy. Works great with these clouds and suns, with a doily on a card front, on an A2 card front. That looks like it's a 5x7 card front, I think. Looks great. You can mix and match. So notice how this Happy Everything is just the letters, but back here, the one we just saw, it's got the shadow behind it. So you have the option to use it either way you like. This is one of those die sets too, where if you're using like a foil or a glitter paper, it's going to really make this stand out. So think about that. Without There it is, kind of, and that's interesting. I don't know how to do that one myself, but maybe you do. Happy everything. I think we have that card here in the studio. I'll share that with, there's a video. And so that is on the website. Okay, and let me show you here the card samples I do have with us. Let's see. Hi, Polly. Honey Bear is doing awesome. She's like the star of the family right now. What's fun is everybody loves Honey Bear. So when you have a dog that everybody loves, it is kind of fun. Cookie was a little more ornery. She wasn't as friendly. So Honey Bear is making tons of friends. Cookie missed out on having a lot of friends. So she just didn't know her life could have been so much better. Poor Cookie, she missed out. Why is that like that? Give me 1 second. It's a little bit dark here. I'm trying to get a little more light on that. Okay, that looks good. Here we go. Okay, the cards that I have, this is a 5x7. I think we did see this on the website. Happy everything. Pretty colors and just a bunch of different variety of shapes. You wouldn't think of mixing those together, but it looks really great, right? You've got a little flower there, a gift, an egg. It looks like a heart. What a combo. It comes out really nice. Here it is with happy everything. You've got our sun folded along with a cloud folded there, mixed together. Great idea. Happy everything. And it looks like they've used a vellum, so it kind of gives us a background here, if you can see that. We've got a bit of a shadow, but it's using like a vellum, almost a clear paper. Here it is with doily. It doesn't tell us what number doily this is, but one of those doilies. Happy everything. We might have looked at this doily already here in the past. That's nice on an A2 card. And again, there's no background on that one. I mean, no shadow, okay, for the letters. But look at this one. This one, happy everything. And it does have the shadow on there. So different looks, different possibilities. I don't know if you can see this here, but this has the glitter on it, which makes it really, it's not really picking up the light. But glitter paper is used on that. And then we have a nice slimline idea, happy everything it says, and it's got our Sunday to Stamp collection on that one. All right, there's our ideas. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to do some die cutting ourselves. So I'm going to open these up. Again, you might have these from May of 2021, going way back, May of 2021. 2 dies, okay, 2 dies, shadow and the regular letters. Now I did cut out a whole bunch of these ahead of time yesterday because, and where are they now? Where did they go? Oh, there they are. I have them over here. See, I'm still using my little tray, and that's coming in handy. So I cut a bunch of these and I added them into here. So this will give us a way that we can mix and match and show some different things quickly. But I will run these through the machine. Let me show you how to do that. All right, there's our die cut machine there and our 2 dies. We're going to use some adhesive paper on this one, like I'd mentioned. I do have this scrap, so this will work nice. And let's see, let's get a couple different colors to do this with. Oh, give us a little variety today. Maybe mix it up some different colors we don't use a whole lot, and different from what I cut with yesterday. So we got that. What else would work? Would that work? No. Well, let's try it. So we're going to use a regular color, and then we're going to pull out a pattern in here too. And probably the larger ones wouldn't, but maybe something like that would. Yeah. Let's just try this one right here at the back, this back sheet. Okay, we've got those 2. And we want to get some adhesive on here, and I'm a little too close for you guys. Let me back up. Now, a question for you guys here while I'm getting this ready is, we're talking about our quiz says it's for A students. What kind of student, when you were in, we're just talking high school right now, what were your grades like when you were in high school? Were you an A student? Or were you like a, let's see, a B student, a C student, a, D student. I hope you weren't in the last one, or a F student. Or were you somewhere in between? A, B, B, C, C? What kind of student were you when you were in school? We're going to take a quiz today that says if you can get this right, you are an A student in school. So we're going to try ourselves. But what did your grades look like when you were in school? Were you giving it your best, or were you just trying to get by? Just trying to get by. I mostly had A's and B's until my senior year. I did have a C. I remember a C in geometry my sophomore year. I think sophomore I was in geometry, and I just had the hardest time with that. And so a C there, but then I was doing good, A's, B's. But then I got to my senior year, and I must have kind of got senioritis, and I made the mistake of, I was trying to catch up because I was a little behind, and I wanted to be kind of caught up to some of the other kids at school and stuff. So I took, this is not wise, I think I took physics and chemistry and one other hard one. What was it? Pre-calculus, all at the same time. And you know what? I might have got away with it during my, I did this on the wrong paper. I might have got through with it, or got away with it, if I had done that in my junior year. But being a senior and starting to kind of get senioritis, the grades kind of went down that senior year. I don't even remember the grades. All I know is I graduated from school, and I'm guessing I got C's in physics and the pre-calculus, and I think I even got a D in chemistry. I think, if I'm remembering right, a D. Isn't that terrible? A D in chemistry. So I messed that up. Let's see. I cut the background instead of the letter. So we got to try that again. Let's try again. So that, I did not finish up high school well. I was on the right track and kind of fizzled out at the end. I should not have taken such hard classes right at the end. At least that's my excuse. I should have taken them earlier, because by senior year, and you just start counting down the days. When am I going to get out of here? How do I get out of this place? I'm trying to look at you guys and see your grades. Card Samper says she was A's and B's. Karen was a good student. Rochelle says she was not good at math and algebra. Yeah. Gloria says A, B, and C's. Paula didn't like geometry. I like the idea of geometry. I just couldn't figure it out. Sylvie says she had a hard time understanding lessons. Don Lynch was A and B. Polly was an A with honors. Nice job, Polly. Paul was an A and Don was B. Great. Teresa an A. Teresa Crafty. Yes says your adhesive sheets are the best. Well, they would be the best if I could peel it right now. And without my glasses, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm just kind of sloughing off. So I apologize. Let's see. I'm distracted by the chat there. And I can't see what I'm doing. I should have peeled this off from the top. That's the way you're supposed to. All right. Let's try again. So I've got that. So this is going to be our... Ooh, boy, that might be like double. Add that to that. So I really goofed that up, but we're going to try again. All right, so here we go. Happy everything, and we're going to run this through the machine. Not with the background, but and we could still use that background shadow that we made, but it didn't really need an adhesive sheet on it. I'm just going to go that way a little bit and then right back. And I won't peel this yet, but I'll show you what we've got. So here we are. The cool thing is, this has become a sticker. So think of that. Some people go, well, how did the adhesive sheets work? So here I did the die cut, but since I put the adhesive on the back, that makes this die cut a sticker. Well, how does that work? See, the paper is still stuck here on the back. So we're going to peel off. We'll do that in just a minute. We're going to peel off the adhesive, and this will be sticky. We won't have to take our roller and add adhesive to it. So I'm going to set that to the side. We're going to do the same die again. And I dropped my other half. This should work out just right. Yeah. So we're going to try this again, this time on a solid paper. Again, we're just doing this multiple times just to get different looks and different ideas. You could pick any kind of colors you want. You could pick pattern papers, solids, like I said, pearl paper. I always say pearl paper. It always sounds weird, I feel like, when I say it. Pearl paper or foil paper, or what else? Glitter paper. Any of those would work. Any way to really make your word, your letters stand out, pop out, it's going to work exceptionally well with this. So I put the sticker on there. I'm going to take my die right on top and run it through this. So we're going to get a nice contrast of our letters. So we'll have a yellow, and then we'll have a red, which is also a pattern paper. So this will be fun to work with. And I will show you some of the ideas we come up with. And I should grab a card base. Do I have a card base over there? I think I do. Yes. Oh, that will work. Nice. Let me see if that works good. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and grab that out of there. That should cut really good. Excellent. So we've done both of those, and we'll make these sticky here in just a minute. We'll peel off the adhesive behind it. So we'll set our dies off to the side. I have this card front that I would like to use that one of our design team members made. And it just says flowers there, but it's got some nice pretty colors. Let's see dies that we have cut using these happy everything words, how that might work out. We're going to get our machine out of the way here. Oh, whoops. I don't want to drop that. Let's get that out of the way. And let's get our little stamper secret weapon here. And we're not really even stamping right now, but this gives us a nice target of an area to work with. So we've got this here. Here's the one we just cut. We're going to come back to this sneak peek. Don't look. I'll show you that here in just a minute. And this was the other one we did. No, I already have that off there. I'm going to put these dies over here in my little container to keep them together. Now, yesterday, I had some fun just die cutting like crazy. So I got all these different samples, different ideas that we can mix and match. Okay, so those are the ones I cut yesterday. I did not put the adhesive on these. Okay, I did not put the adhesive on these. So it'll kind of give you an idea of different ways that it works. Got that one. I've got the yellow. Okay, and there is my shadow here. I'm going to show you on this with a shadow, and maybe on another card we can also do it without. That will look good. So we've got a white, just plain card. We've got something with some artwork on it already, and we can just take and kind of decorate. So here we go, white background, the die cuts that we just cut. I've got a couple little chads still in there, so we can pop those out. Oh, I forgot to tell you, at the end of our presentation today, after we've done our games, our fun facts, all that, done our dies, we'll have our good news segment today, a little short devotional. And we're going to look at our Bibles, Mark chapter 9, if you want to look ahead. Mark chapter 9. While I'm crafting here, if you want to read that would be great. If you just want to wait until the end when we join in together, that's fine too. Up to you. I just wanted to let you know that we are going to do that together later. All right, so there's that. And we want to get rid of that little piece there. Well, that will be fine. All righty. Which way does it go? Now I can't figure it out. Oh, it goes that way. There we go. So if I wanted to just add words, sentiments like that, and I wanted white background, with my letters on top, that would be good. Now, I think if we didn't have the background here, it would be just kind of disappears into the card. So on a card like with this, where there's lots of art, I kind of think having the shadow makes it a little bit nicer. Now, if we wanted to change our colors up, we could do that. We've got a blue background here, and with the same pattern paper with the blue background, that looks nice. Now, we did the yellows before, correct? So we can add that in there. Looks good, looks good. Maybe you want to go red, just mix it up to have the background. So you see there's so many different ways you can do this, and there's really no right way. Now I've got kind of like a red background here. That kind of looks like USC colors, gold, and what is that? Kind of like a, not maroon, what color would you call that? Kind of like a red. So that looks nice. And I don't know if that kind of clashes a little bit, but to give you a little bit of an idea there. And then I also did this kind of crazy pattern paper, well, for letters, but I think it looks pretty neat. I was kind of happy with that. So let's see if we wanted to layer that on this one. That was a good combination. So if we wanted to put something like that, happy everything, looking good. Now, I was telling you also just on a solid card. Now, this is not decorated or anything like that yet, but this has a lot going on and it looks really nice to me. But if you're just looking at right at the beginning, a blank card, the letters, of course, just like that are going to look good just by themselves, right? You don't have to do anything else. Of course, you can decorate up there, but as far as layering, if you have a nice white background, they're going to really stand out. If you have a lot of decoration or pattern paper on the back of your card, they might not show up quite as much. Let me look at some of these. So to give you an example, we had, so here it is. See how I prefer the background behind it. It makes the letters stand out. Here, since the color is so dark, this one still does stand out really nice. And here again with a background. Now, this one is great, but it doesn't quite show up as quite as much. It still looks good. I think it even looks better maybe on the monitor that you're seeing than what I see here in person. And then there was the vellum example also. So you can go that way. If you wanted to mix and match and add your background, you could do this. This would be, so I took those stripes. And you can see how the letters, they still stand out, but they start to, the saying becomes not quite as strong or prominent when you have a stronger background. So that shows you an idea how using this pattern paper still looks good. And there's no right way or wrong way. It's just everybody's preference. But it does start to pull away from the word a little bit itself. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how that works, the adhesive. So you can just peel those off there. These were the ones where we did run the adhesive. If I wanted to add these on, I would have to take a roller and roll some adhesive onto it to get that on there, or some glue or something. So that would take a little extra work. But since I did put the adhesive sheet on the back already, if I'm capable of peeling this properly, it'll be sticky already all by itself. So let's give it a shot. So this is the happy bold, or funky bold, I think happy everything dies, and you have to be a little bit gentle with it because it's not a super intricate die, but it is a little, and you just kind of peel those back. Make sure I'm on camera here. Keep peeling. And then right after this, we're going to go ahead and do our quiz, okay, guys? And this is where I definitely need your help. To try to be an A student, I definitely will need some help. Freshman, sophomore year, I might have been okay. But my senior year, I would not have been an A student. So here we go. So I've got all that peeled off. And we want to put this on something where it really stands out nice. Just to mix it up, let's go ahead and we'll add it right there. So it's sticky. Just kind of line that up. And then all you have to do, because this is like a sticker, you just press down. So now you see there's some yellow in there. It kind of blends in a little bit, huh? Again, on your monitor, I think it looks better than how I see it here in person. But there's one example. And we also did this one. So let's go ahead and peel that off. And this one we'll add it to this white background. Go ahead and peel that. Maybe. Got to get a corner going here. All right. There. Okay, got it. Once you get it started, they're easy, but getting that first little corner can be a little tricky. Again, just because you don't want to tear it, right? You don't want to tear. I'm going to peel those. Whoops, sorry. Lost that to the side, and we're going to keep working our way up there. And that off there. Again, see how it sticks to my hand? So it's got the adhesive on the back. Yeah, just about got this. Just about got it. Woo. One little section here. All right, there we have it. We have our happy everything. This time I'm going to add it to this white. I believe it goes that direction. Oh, that's got a little extra on it. And we just go ahead and add that down. And boom. So again, I'm using happy everything, but you saw there's all kinds of other examples, huh? There was happy anniversary, happy birthday. We have all kinds of different fonts. And the ideas that we're showing you, these will pretty much work with all of those die sets. They all come with shadows, almost all of them. And I goofed this one up a little bit here, so we want to make sure that looks nice. Bring that in. Okay, there we go. That's better. So there's our happy everything. So my two different examples to share with you today. This could go almost like a Christmassy idea. Happy everything, and then with a little bit more extravagant, would you say, type of pattern paper behind there. But again, no right way, wrong way. I showed you those card examples, vellum, nice dark color with nothing behind it. Stands out good. And then like my favorite is doing it like this, glittery with a nice solid background. That is happy everything on the Stamps of Life website. Check that out. There are other card samples on there using, again, the other versions. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. What else did we see on there? I feel like I'm missing one. Let's see. What else was I looking at? There's one other one. Happy retirement and happy new year are on there too. So those are all on the website. Check those out. Okay. Jane says she just got her folded lantern. Awesome. That's good. Glad you did receive that. Teresa says, looks great. If I don't use adhesives, I put glue on back of hand and tape away. There you go. Great. Everybody has their own way to do these things. For the more intricate things, I like to keep it as clean as possible. And since I'm probably not as skilled as some of you, I just, I like to use the adhesive. It makes the adhesive sheets rather than trying to roll it or glue it on. I just know I'll make a mess. So I am trying my best not to make a mess, because then what happens? I'm the one who has to clean it up. So I don't want to make a mess if I can avoid it. All right, let's see. Game time. Game time here. So you guys are going to help me out. This quiz is only for straight A students. So let me share the screen with you. So what would I say for us? We better have some straight A students out there to help us. And we can't mess this up. It says only straight A students can get 16 out of 22 on this trivia quiz right. So we've got to get at least 16 to prove ourselves that we're good students. All right, let's see. I will share the screen with you. And this should be fun. All right, here we go. And I'm going to share that one. Hopefully you can see it. Oh, there's an ad there. We don't want to see that ad. Close. All right, there it is. Only straight A students can get 16 out of 22. Let's see what we can do. And I have to move the chat over a little bit so I can see what you guys answer. So again, in the chat, you're going to help me, okay? And I'm going to read the questions. I don't think this one has any sound on this website. Only straight A students can get 16 out of 22. So 22 questions. We've got a ways to go. So answer quickly in the chat. You're going to type away, and I'm going to watch for your answers if I don't know them. start the quiz. It says, here we go. This is just for fun. I know it's not crafting. If you came for just crafting, excuse me, we will come back to that. But we're just trying to hang out, have some fun, learn something. Hopefully, that's what we're doing here. Here we go. I'm trying to get rid of some of these ads. Which organ in the human body cleans 50 gallons of blood every day? Which organ in the human body cleans 50 gallons of blood every day? Is it the heart, the kidneys, the liver, the stomach? Now, I know it's not the stomach. Who can help me? Because I'm not 100% sure on this one. Who knows? Which organ cleans the blood? I'm thinking it's kidney, but you guys let me know. Let's see. KR says kidney. Anybody going to back that up? That's what I was voting for, kidney. Polly says liver. Uh-oh. Diane says liver, but I see some question marks. Sylvie says kidneys. Do we have another kidney for sure? I'm pretty sure it is kidney. Now we got some kidneys coming in. Let's try it. Yes. Next question. 1 for 1. Which of these is not a part of speech? An adverb, a preposition, a conjunction, interrogation, adjective, or interjection? Which one of these is not a part of speech? It's got to be interrogation, right? I'm going to guess this one on my own. Okay. Next. Loading. Which is the hardest substance in your body? Oh, this is tricky. Is it your skull? Tooth enamel? Fingernails? Femur? Oh, this is challenging. What do you guys think? Skull, tooth enamel, finger nails, or femur? I'm guessing skull, but what do you guys guess? Card stamper says teeth, tooth enamel. Diane says femur. Polly says bone. So nobody's voting for skull, so we're kind of going to miss femur, skull. Fingernails, somebody said? Those are the hardest? Wow. It looks like we're all over the place on this one. We might get this one wrong. We got another tooth enamel. Femur. Fingernail. You guys are guessing all different ones, and I don't know. I can't phone a friend or anything. Okay, I don't think it's nails. I think it's femur. Well, it could be any three of these. Tooth enamel. Fingernails. Janet says, gosh. I'm just going to guess. I'm going to try femur. No. What was it? Tooth enamel. I was so close to picking tooth enamel. Darn. Okay, next. If you can get 14 tickets to the aquarium at $21, how much will 3 tickets cost? So $14.50. Is it $7? $2.50, $3, $4.50, $14, or $1.50? I know what it is. What do you guys guess? 3 tickets. How many would it cost? How much would it cost for 3 tickets? Yeah, KR, you're right. KR's right. Who else is going to back up that number? Polly says free. Yeah, sure. Anybody else? No math people out there? Wow, we need Gail. Where's Gail when we need her? $4.50. Yes, it's got to be $4.50. All right, we got that one. How would you figure that out? Just so you know, you divide the 21 by 14, and that comes out to be $1.50. And then you multiply the $1.50 by 3. That comes out to be $4.50. Woo! Next question. Energy is measured in what unit of measurement? Energy. Is it measured in... How do I get rid of some of these ads? They got a lot of crazy ads on. Calories, degrees, joules, ohm, watts, or volts? This is tricky. I'm guessing watts. What do you guys guess? Kilowatts is KR. Anybody else? Watts. I think it's watts also. It's how you measure the power. Anybody else? I know it's not degrees. I know it's not calories. I don't even know what joules are. Watts, kilowatts. Let's try that. No. What? Somebody needs to look that word up. I've never even heard of that word. Energy is measured in what unit of measurement? I guess watts is only electricity. I don't know. Somebody's got to look that up. Next question. We've got at least 2 wrong. We're starting to slump. Which of these can be found in the nucleus of an atom? Electron, proton, nuclei, positrons, photons. What is in the nucleus? I'm guessing this one that says nuclei. What is in the center of the atom? The nuclei can be found in the nucleus of the atom. It's nuclei, right? Somebody help me out. Hello, Yvonne from Inland Empire. Sylvie said gels. Good job, Sylvie. I don't know how you knew that one. Is it nuclei? I don't know how to say that word. Electron, well, don't the electrons spin around on the outside? Nuclear. I'm guessing this one. Let's try it. No, protons. Oh, no. We're in trouble. Now we are in trouble. Next question. What is the most common element in the human body? Everybody knows this one, right? Calcium. Hey, why is this going crazy? Calcium, nitrogen, hydrogen, helium, carbon, or oxygen? Oh, this is tricky too. I thought it was water. Is water hydrogen? Yeah, I better go back to school too. Teresa, right? So I thought water makes up our body, and the only one that I see there that connects with H2O is hydrogen and oxygen. Which one? Which is the most common element in the human body? Maybe that's the trick. Element. Hydrogen, says KR. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oxygen. Oh boy. This is tough. This is tough. This is tougher than we thought. Oxygen. We got a couple more oxygens. Gonna wait for maybe 1 or 2 more votes. Barbara and Peggy say oxygen. Anybody else? KR says hydrogen. That's kind of one I'm leaning to. Nobody else. Okay, we're going to try hydrogen. Oxygen. For those of you who said oxygen, you are right. The rest of us wrong. Unlike most fish, what do sharks not have? I finally got one. Sharks do not have bones, gills, liver, or heart. It's bones. Yee! Next. Which of these elements is a noble gas? We need some scientists here. Which is a noble gas? Don't know any of these. Xenon, argon, neon, chlorine, helium, krypton. Does anybody know? This is tough. Which of these elements isn't a noble gas? So which one is the oddball? I'm guessing xenon, Sharon says. Helium. Argon. Another helium. Anybody else? This is tricky. I was going to guess chlorine, but I think I'm wrong. All right, Sharon, this is all your fault, Sharon, if we get it wrong, because you were first, and I have no clue. Chlorine, I would have been right. Darn. On a shopping spree, Jennifer bought a belt for $6, 2 pairs of jeans that cost $23 each, and 3 shirts for $15. How much did she spend? A belt, okay, 6, 2. Okay, I have a number. Do you guys have a number in mind? Is it 86, 100, 94, 123, 97, or 78? I know. What do you guys guess? Well, Sharon, now that's too late. Now you tell me you read the question wrong. Card Stamper says a lot. Yeah, that sums it up. But I got it. I think I know this one. Let's see if anybody agrees with me. Got to multiply, and then you got to add. Or 94, no way. 94, oh. That's 290. Okay, Diane says really 94. I'm guessing 90. I came up with 97. Yes, 97. 97. I see there were not many guesses on those math ones. There's not very many math people out there today. Let's see. Ooh, calm down there. Calm down. Look at all these ads. Where was John F. Kennedy assassinated? Was it in Los Angeles? Was it in Austin, Texas? Was it in Washington, D.C. or Dallas, Texas? Where was John Kennedy assassinated? I know this one, but I'm going to let you guys help out. Yeah. Dallas. Next. Which fictional land did C.S. Lewis write about? C.S. Lewis has a famous story called, like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Where is the land? Is it Narnia, Arda? Is it Neverland or Jumanji? I know this one. I like when I know some of them, but I want you guys to jump in. Which one was it? This one, that one, Narnia. Yeah, Narnia. You guys got it. Next. A truck. Oh, this is math. Here we go. Math again. A truck averages 15 miles to each gallon of gas. 1 gallon costs $2.79. If the truck has to go 165 miles, how much will the gas cost? Okay, I'm going to get my calculator out. I will help you guys figure this out. All right, let's see. We're going to figure this one out. We're going to get it. We're going to get this one. We are going to get it. So what you do, you go 1 gallon, two. So 165 miles. I'm going to tell you how to do this. Take 165. It's okay to use a calculator because these are crazy numbers. 165, and you divide it by 15. And that means you drove, this is how many gallons you use. You use 11 gallons. Then you go 11 times 2.79 equals, what? 11 times 2, I don't know, 11 times, no, clear, 11 times, keep hitting the wrong button, sorry, equals 3069. Peggy says 3079. That's close, Peggy. Let's see what answers we have here. 418, 3269. That's I got 3069. Yeah, there it is. This is the one. 36. Peggy, you were close. And I appreciate you trying. Yes, next question. Ooh, how many zeros are there in a billion? How many zeros are there in a billion? So let's see. 9. Who says 9? How many zeros are in a billion? Does anybody agree with me? I'm saying 9. Does anybody agree with Ken here? How many zeros in a billion? So you get a 1 and then comma 9. Janet says 9. I'm saying 9. Yes. Outstanding. Next. Which of the following is not acidic or does not have a low pH? No science. Gastric juice, lemon juice, coffee, seawater. Which of these is not acidic? I'm guessing seawater. Does anybody know? Gastric, that's got to have acid in it. Lemon's got to have acid. And I think coffee does. I don't know why, but I think coffee has acid in it. So which one does not have acid in it? Seawater. Diana and Sylvie say seawater. Okay, we're going to do it. Yes. That is what I guessed too. We're almost done. We're almost done. What is the only sea without any coast? Wow. A sea without any coast? That is tricky. A sea without any coast. How can that be? The Mediterranean Sea, the Adriatic Sea, Celebes Sea, Sargasso Sea. Has anybody heard of any of these? I've never, that looks like, it can't be Mediterranean Sea or Adriatic Sea. They have land around them. What are Sargasso Sea or Celebes Sea? Has anybody heard of either one of these? It's got to be one of these two bottom ones. Sargasso Sea or Celebes Sea. I'm guessing Sargasso too, just because it doesn't show any land. But what do you guys think? This is just a guess. Guessing Sargasso. I'm guessing too. Yes. That was just a guess. I never heard of that place. Next. In which country did the Battle of Hastings in 1066 take place? Wow. The Battle of Hastings in 1066. United States, England, Germany, or France? I'm definitely ruling out the United States because 1066, the United States was not around. So what do you guys guess? England, France, or Germany? Hastings sounds like an English name. Germany, England. I'm guessing England. I'm just guessing. Hastings sounds like an English word. Yes. Next. We're 81% done. Where's our next question? Which prefix means distant? Distant. Multi, un, pre, post, tel, trans. Huh. Which one of these means, which prefix means distance? So like far away. It's not multi. Pre is before, post is after. Tel, I think it's tel. What do you guys think? Or trans? Which prefix means distance, like far away? Look, could be like transport, could be like telephone, television. That's what I'm thinking, you guys too. Let's try distant. Yes. Next. What do you call a male sheep? A bull, a ewe, a ram, or a lamb? My guess is ram. What do you guys guess? It's not a ewe. It's not a bull. Ram, yeah. Let's go ram. Doop. Good. Next question. We might get an A, you guys. We might. What is the body part affected by conjunctivitis? Uh-oh. What is the body part affected by conjunctivitis? Ugh, doesn't sound good. Is it the hand, the brain, the eye, or the lungs? Everybody says eye. I was thinking eye, but I'm not sure. Yes, good. Hopefully none of you had to deal with that, but maybe you have. Loading. Which part of the electromagnetic spectrum has the shortest wavelength? I have no idea. Which part has the shortest? The infrared, the radio waves, microwave, X-rays, ultraviolet, or gamma rays? Does anybody? This is way too scientist for me. Which part of the electromagnetic spectrum has the shortest wavelength? Infrared, radio waves, microwaves, X-rays, ultraviolet, or gamma rays? I have no idea. Sylvie says radio. Anybody else? I think we're just going to be guessing on this one. Any other guesses? Good guesses? Good guesses. I'm going to get our next die set ready here. Oh, Rochelle says she has it right now. Yes, guessing radio. Okay, this is just a guess. Infrared. Let's try. We're just going to guess because we have a couple guesses here. No. Gamma. See, now I would have thought that was like the largest. That sounds like outer space. True or false? The capital of Turkey is Istanbul. That is. Does anybody know the correct capital of Turkey? It is. Isn't it Ankara? Oh no, Sylvia says true. I say false. I think it's Ankara. Shannon says true also. I'm saying false, you guys. This one's on me, okay? If we get this one wrong, it's on me. Yes. The capital of Turkey is Ankara. Tricky. That was like a trick question. Show me the results. Here we go. No. Skip to the results. 16 out of 22. Woo! We did it just barely. I didn't even realize we got 6 wrong. How about that? 16 out of 22. Way to go, you guys. We're A students. So if anybody ever told me or you that we're not smart, that is not true. That is not true. We are smart. We got an A. Now, it took like 40 of us working together, but we got an A. We'll take it. An A. So remember, we're A students. 16 out of 22 means we are A students. It's funny though, look, it says only straight A students can get 16 out of 22. But look, the A is not capitalized. Shouldn't it be capitalized? Only straight A students can get 16. Don't you guys think the A should be capitalized right there? So they're telling us, they're trying to tell us we're not smart, but then they leave the A lowercase. What do you think? Should the A be uppercase or lowercase right there? Only straight A students can get 16 out of 22. Don says that A should be capitalized. I say yes too. So look, they're trying to decide who's smart and who's not, and they can't even figure that out themselves. How lame. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to our next item. I got to get rid of that screen. Let's remove it. Hey, I'm back. That took a long time, so I apologize that it did take so long, but it's fun to know that we're smarter than we thought we were. At least that's what I think. 16 out of 22. I would have got about, without your guys' help, about 10 out of 22. So on my own, no, not so good, but with you guys helping me, yes. Okay, next up. This is the side pop-up card die set from the Stamps of Life from, when is it? June of 2021. We're going to speed things up here. Side pop out. Side pop out. Okay. This is, look, it has a lot. It does have a lot. But the key thing to know is the big die on the outside, the card base, that does almost all the work. There's lots of other dies to decorate your panel with. Great. You don't have to use them if you don't want, but I think you will want to use those. But then it comes with hearts and flowers. So it does include a lot. Let me show you on the website real quick. Show you that on the web. Hey, that's good. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Thought I lost the camera, but we're good. We are good. There is a black. There it is. Okay, so if you are on the dice on the Stamps of Life website, 25 dies. But what did I tell you? One big die does almost the whole card base. The little angular shapes fill in the panels. So you're probably going to want to use those, but don't let the 25 dies scare you. Most of it's decoration, okay? Most of it's decoration. You got the card ideas on there. So this is going to pop out. I'm going to show you how that works. Our sloth. Lots of fun. There's all the dies you get. Add some flowers on there included. Flowers. Look at that. Really, really nice. Little bird bath. Open it up. Boom. Look, you can decorate it and make that pop out. That is cool. Congratulations. And there's the opening there. Fancy. Sending you lots of loves. Our love bugs. There's other card bases down there below as well. Okay, lots of pop-up folding type cards. But today we're looking at this one. Again, from June of 2021. You might have it. Fun card base. I'm going to set the dies over there. And let me show you the samples that I have real quick. And I'm going to clean up some of this area so it's not so sloppy. Got lots of leftover stuff here. So let's get that out of the way. And let's jump over there. And I have these cool samples to share with you. We don't have a bunch, but I do have 4. So it looks like that. And this designer did have the bow on there. I had untied that already. Let's move this over a little bit. And the card, so it looks like that. You open it up and boom, look at that. It all will pop up. So it has this little pop-up function on the inside that you can decorate. They've added a little bird bath on the inside, some birds here. So that is fancy. It opens up, kind of looks like that, and you can lay it flat so it stands up. Awesome. Here it is with the flowers. We got flowers on here. Open that up. Boom. Look at that. Flowers there. What does it say? Happy birthday on the side. And here's your panels to decorate the inside. Sending you lots of love, this one says, along with some tags there. So the card shapes that way. It opens up. Got our little bugs in there. Boom. So it just really adds a little extra in there. If you can see how that works. That folds and opens up there. Sending you lots of love and kisses, it said on this side. And then kind of like a wedding theme, says congratulations. Your little ring up there, love, and that is going to open up. Oh, fancy. Opens up just like that. So you can see how that functions out there. You can have it open this way too, however you want to decorate on the inside. 2 hearts, 2 lives, 1 love, it says. So folding down like that. Fancy. Just that little extra motion really makes a lot of difference. So let me show you how this die set works. So there were our card ideas. Now I'm not going to decorate or make a fancy one like our designers did there, but I'll definitely show you how the base works and then how you can add the panels. Okay, so we're going to get a nice, let's get we haven't used any of this today. Nice strawberry color, I think, here, so it'll really stand out. We're going to run this through our die cut machine. And let me check out our Damari, don't worry that you're late. It's okay. How do the crowns and numbers work? Oh, I'm not sure that question, card stamper, but I will try to, let's see. Oh, Sharon says that was one of the first sets I bought. Cool. Well, check this out. I hope you are using it, Sharon. That is key. Sometimes we get a lot of things, and unless we figure out ways to keep them really organized, at least for me, I forget I have stuff. And then I don't use it as much as I often or as I should. This especially happens to me like with tools. I'll buy tools, but I don't keep them organized and in the place that they should be. And then when I need them to go to use them, I can't find them. So what do? I go and buy it again. So organization, whether it's tools or maybe something you use in your kitchen or some kind of craft you do, maybe it has to do with your card making. I really think keeping things organized and easy to find and locate and access is really beneficial, because when you know where things are and you can just get to them just right away, you save all that time and that energy and frustration when you can just go and find it, you put it to use, and get right to the point. You don't have to waste time, right? So I really think keeping things organized is really, really good. And it helps me. Some areas I am organized in, and some I'm very disorganized. So I have some good points and some bad ones. All right. So hopefully you can avoid the bad ones. Do your best. In the chat, this is a tricky question. Have you ever had a Stroop waffle? I know you're all going, what is a Stroop waffle? Well, obviously it's a waffle, right? Has anybody out there ever had a Stroop waffle or made a Stroop waffle? Well, today is like National Stroop Waffle Day or something like that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Has anybody ever had a Stroop waffle? Stroop waffle. Tricky. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I have never had a Stroop waffle. But since it's something we're supposed to celebrate because it's National Stroopwafel Day, we're going to talk about it today. I think that was kind of slim pickings on days to celebrate today. So we are picking up Stroopwafel. We're going to do that right after we die cut this. All right, I've got my platform, got my plates, cardstock there. Now I got to get the big die out. Where did I go with my big die? Stroopwafel. Has anybody heard of that? Has anybody ever eaten one of those? Okay, yes. Barbara says, not that I know of. Teresa says, nope. Diane says, let's see. This will be tricky. Diane says, I have and didn't enjoy. Ooh, tricky. Tricky, Diane. Or maybe you had a different version. Because the one I am reading about is like caramel stuffed. And I like caramel. Excuse me. Let me get my cough button here. I need a drink real quick. I'll be Yes, the Stroopwafel I heard about. I think you might be able to have different fillings as caramel filled. And it does sound like it would be messy. But a waffle filled with caramel sounds good. But if you hadn't, it wasn't good. I mean, I can't argue with you. But it definitely sounds good to me. I mean, because a waffle with syrup, that's good. But maybe caramel is just different. Okay, caramel is just different. So hang in there. We're going to do that next after we die cut here. And then we're going to do our fun facts for Stroopwafel. And then last, we'll do our good news segment at the end. Mark chapter 9. All right, let's run this through there. Our die is going to cut and score and do all that fun stuff for us. Now, yesterday I did cut out a couple of the panels ahead of time, okay, you guys? So I'm going to save us a little bit of time here. The die cuts and scores it for us. And this is just going to fold in, and then this kind of folds in. Oop, we got a little extra piece there. Make sure I got this right. So that's going to go that way. I forgot exactly how it folds. And then this should come inward. Oh, I got to look at my sample because I forgot. I did this yesterday, but I've forgotten exactly how it folds. So it goes in. So that's got to come in. Okay. I think I've got it. There we go. So you see it kind of pinches down. See how that pinches in? You pinch it down, and then you just bring these together. And easy, boom. And I'm going to go ahead and take I should have a bone folder around here. No. Bone folder is missing. Oh, no, it is organized. See, I left it where it's supposed to be. I found it. Just take that, score it down. This is extra scrap. And you can see from the card that's finished, it's the same. We've got the same shape. And this pops open like that. See how that pops open? Let's see if ours does that. Boom. Yes, it does. Just like that. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and now I'm just adding white. But of course, you could do pattern paper. You could do any color here on your wall. But I'm just so you can see how it kind of stands out. I'm going to do white on the front. And we'll do a white on the inside. Okay, so let's get some adhesive on these two here. And we're just kind of filling in the panels a little. You can decorate and layer, make it look really nice. I'm just showing you real quick how this works. So use your imagination. If you wanted to have, oh, I did that on the wrong side, so I'm going to add that here. No, that can go on this side. Let's go ahead and we'll use that there. This is one of our outside panels. Then if you were to go on the inside of the card, I wanted it to be here, but I put the adhesive on the wrong side. So we'll add this here on this side. And again, we're just kind of showing how the layers work together. You can decorate this section with anything you want, but for right now, let's go ahead and real quick do a couple of the inside, and I do have some more of this Christmas paper here. So let's see what would fit nice in there. So let's see if we were doing Christmas. Now that might be too small. Let's just use a color here. Something like this for the inside of our card. Peel that off of there. And where did my dies go? Oh, I had been so organized today, and now, I left them back over here by my other desk. And for this section, we're just going to use some real straight edges. We won't have any scallop on it. So what am I doing now? I'm going to cut the little panels that fit in there. And again, this comes with layers, so you can layer this if you like. Okay. And we'll set that over there. And these go down like that. Oops. I need the top platform. That's over here on the side. Ooh, I'm getting loud. Sorry about that. And then let's run this through. And I'll go right back. Save us a little bit of time. I'll set that up. So now I have my two shapes that will fit right in here. Now I use two different size triangles here, so that would fit there. Now this should have been a different color. Well, actually I could get away with that. It won't really look right, but these two would layer together like that. Let's see. No, that would not good. Their shape is a little bit different. So this would have to be, so let's go ahead and add that one in there and get that in there. The sad thing is when I do patterns like this, I'm losing all the fun art on the other side, but life goes on. Sometimes you just got to make choices, right? Choices. So there's that. And we've got that. Now, if I wanted to, I want to see something different here. I've got this. Let's go back to solid. And I want to make sure it's the same direction. So I'm going like that direction, and that smaller one, we want to make sure it layers correctly. So that will go in there. So I'm going to pick, we're going to go back to, what the heck? Let's find some scratch paper down here and see if we can find a red color to add to that. Well, this will be a little bit different, but it'll give us an idea of how it layers. Boop, 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 boop. One more time. And this shape was correct, but it's not going to look right if I have the same paper layer upon layer. That doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm still running this through. We just need to do it just a little bit there. And this color will not be a perfect match, but I'm just, again, trying to show you a few dyes do a lot of the work here. So remember, I gave you that count, it was like 25 or 30 dyes. Remember, just a few of them are going to do almost all the work. So here we have, so you can see how that layers inside there. Same thing, you can layer this section. You can layer on the front. I've got the main outside, but there are dies that fit in here. So you could add a pattern paper there. And back to our nice samples, you can see we've got the solid, a scallop that is solid, then a scallop that has a pattern paper in there. On the inside, you've got a scallop solid, another scallop white, and then you add your little artwork there. Very, very easy. Okay, very, very easy. The hardest part for me was to make sure that I had this fold coming in the center. What did I do? It was like this when we started. I just kind of pinched it right there and pulled it in, and then made sure these lines lined up on the outside. And then since this cardstock is so nice and thick, I did go ahead and I scored it to make sure that those lines would hold in place. So that's the Stamps of Life side pop out die set. All right. Sharon says she has it. Sharon, you got to make us some cards using that die set. We want to see what you create. If you make something fun with this die set or any other items from the Stamps of Life, we hope you'll add them to our gallery. Okay. The gallery is supposed to be a little bit more user friendly now. We'd love for you to use it. We would love for you to use it. Damari says she did purchase this die and loves it. Great, 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 great. Okay, here we go. What are we doing now? We are doing our, let me get rid of that little square there. We don't need that. We'll get rid of that. And we are doing our Stroopwafel. Fun facts. Fun facts. I don't know if this is really fun facts, but we're going to learn about these today. So here was the first thing. So this is what made me think of this. You're going, why would Ken think of something like this? Well, here we go. Switch that. So it is, look at all these days you can celebrate. International Podcast Day, National Pet Tricks Day, International Thunderbirds Day, Extra Virgin Olive Oil Day, World Stroopwafel Day. That is the one I picked. That's why we are talking about this, because it is a day to celebrate. So we are going to get our fun facts here for our Stroopwafel. So maybe this is the first time you've heard of it. Until I checked out this day, I had never heard of this before in my life. A Stroopwafel is a traditional, so there you go. It looks like a kind of waffle, right? Waffle. A Stroopwafel is a traditional, whoops, let me see. How did I lose it? Sorry. There it is. A Stroopwafel is a traditional Dutch treat made from two thin, crispy waffle-like cookies sandwiched together with a caramel syrup filling. Doesn't it? It sounds good. Now, I saw somebody said it wasn't that good. The name Stroopwafels translates to syrup waffle in English, which perfectly describes its key components. They're often enjoyed as a snack or dessert, and they're usually, this is the tricky part, can have it on their own or accompanied by a hot beverage like coffee or tea, mainly from the Netherlands. It's much more than a sweet snack. It's a history, blah, blah, blah. Sit back and grab a cup of coffee and learn about the taste of the Stroopwafels are a delightful treat from the Netherlands, crispy outer shell and a delicious caramel center. It's not overly sweet, though, it says. There's a nice balance between the sweetness of the syrup and the buttery, slightly savory waffle. The first bite, now it's starting to make me hungry. This first bite is a delightful mix of textures, crispy, chewy, and then a burst of gooey goodness. Stroopwafels are perfect on their own or with a cup of coffee because the warmth of the drink helps soften the caramel a bit. So some people will take the Stroopwafel and set it like over the cup of coffee on the top or the tea, and it kind of makes the caramel melt. That's my understanding, the trick. It says how to pronounce it, Stroop. How do you eat? Stroopwafels are best. Oh, I got to hit my cough button here again. Hang on. When I talk too much, my throat starts getting all itchy. I usually don't talk this much, so bear with me. Best enjoyed warm. They can be a bit gooey and soft. See, the traditional way is to place them on top of a hot beverage, such as coffee or tea. As the steam rises, it warms up the Stroopwafel. Some people say you can't have one without a cup of coffee. They just go together. And they also make for a nice snack straight out of the pack. I guess that means like I thought you'd be making these at home by yourself. Where you get the caramel, I don't know. So you can use them as a delicious twist on s'mores by replacing the traditional boring crackers with Stroopwafels for a gooey caramel-filled delight. Another option is to sandwich your Stroopwafel with your favorite ice cream flavor. Now that sounds good. Makes me think of a waffle cone. Doesn't that remind you of a waffle cone? If you've had a waffle cone with ice cream, I think that's the same type of cone that would get used. Make it out of a Stroopwafel. They can even be used as a pie crust, cheesecakes. The ingredients, what is it made out of? The primary ingredients are flour, butter, sugar, eggs, and spices such as cinnamon. There you go. And then you have to make your caramelized syrup with brown sugar and butter. The gooey syrup is spread generously between the wafers. They even have different versions of it. So there you go. So it was started in 1810 by some baker named Gerard in the Netherlands, in the city of Gouda. He just uses leftovers from the bakery, such as breadcrumbs. He sweetened them with syrup there you have it. So since 1810, these have been around. I've never seen them. I've seen like funnel cakes. I've seen waffle cones. I've seen crepes, but I have never seen like a Stroopwafel at, say, like Disneyland or some amusement park. Nope. But they do exist, and there must be stores for these. That's it. They're sticky. They're messy, but and when we had one of you said it wasn't good, but it sounds like it would be good to me. Waffles with caramel. Oh, there you go. See how it looks gooey on the inside? I guess there's even a video about it and a taste test. So fun facts, September 30th is World Stroopwafel Day. That's what we're celebrating. In 2017, a team of bakers in the Netherlands created the world's largest Stroopwafel, measuring over 2 meters in diameter. Wow. Stroopwafels have become a popular souvenir for tourists visiting the Netherlands. In 2018, the Dutch astronaut Andre Kuipers, I think, took Stroopwafels with him into the space station. Stroopwafels are not always round. Some bakers create heart-shaped ones. Classic treat, perfect for Valentine's Day and anniversaries. There's that super big one. Look at that. A world's largest Stroopwafel. Woo! A treat worth trying, it says. So, if you haven't, at least I warn you, you might want to give it a try. If somebody offered me one, like if somebody had made one, I would be glad to give it a try because I like waffly things and I like caramel. So why not? It might be a good winning combination. It might be a dud, but you could try it. All right, that's it. Our fun facts. It was kind of a weird one today, but I was trying to find out something to yak about, so we did. All right. We are on to our good news segment. Matthew chapter 9 is pretty quick and kind of basic. Well, I'm not sure it's super quick, but pretty basic. We have this story. Our main verse will be Matthew 9:23, and it has to do a little bit with our faith and how God works with our faith. So, and Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are primarily about the life of Jesus and 3 years of ministry that he did here on earth. So we're reading about that. Mark chapter 9. I'm using my tablet today. You could use your phone or maybe you have a family Bible or just a regular common Bible that you use every day. Great. However you want to read God's word is good. So we're looking at Matthew 9:23, and we'll read the full story to get the context. But Jesus said to him, and let me pop the verse up there. If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. Now, one of the key things in our relationship with God is faith. And so it's first to know, though, what is important, that it's not my faith or your faith that makes things happen. It's faith in the one who makes things happen, right? So when we have faith in Jesus, when we have faith in God, then it says that anything is possible. All things are possible. God is able to make things happen. Jesus is able to do what we might consider to be amazing or impossible or like things that we say, no way. So that would be the first question. Do you believe that God is able to do what seems impossible to you? Did you know that God can do those kind of things? Maybe there's something in your life that is just really, really challenging and you don't see any way for things to get better or things to change, but God is able to do it. So let's take a look at the full story here in context. And yes, Ruth, we will be praying for your son. We want him to get healthy. So Jesus said to him, if you believe, all things are possible to him who believes. Well, let's read what was happening here. Let me go ahead and remove that real quick. So if you go back a few verses in Mark chapter 9, sorry, I can't find the thing that I want to get. Let's move off that. So if we go back to about verse 17. Well, let's go back a little bit for that verse 14. It says, so boy is healed is what this part of the chapter is called. And when he came to his disciples, that's Jesus, he saw a great multitude around them and scribes disputing with them, arguing about something. And immediately when they saw Jesus, all the people were greatly amazed and running to him, greeted him. And Jesus, he asked the scribes, what are you discussing with them? So there seems to be some kind of argument, debate, something happening. And then one of the people in the crowd said, teacher, I brought you my son who has a mute spirit. And whenever it seizes him, it throws him down. He foams at the mouth, gnashes his teeth, and becomes rigid. And so I spoke to your disciples that they should cast it out, but they could not. So this kid, something had happened to him. It sounds like, and Jesus will tell us, some kind of demonic power force had entered him and kind of taken control of him and was making life really miserable for him. And then for his family, here's his dad trying to get help for his son. And then he answered him. Jesus said, "Oh, faithless generation, how long shall I bear with you? How long shall, how long shall I bear with you? Bring him to me," Jesus said. And then they brought him to Jesus. And when he saw him, immediately, so that's the whatever was inside this kid, immediately the spirit convulsed and fell on the ground and wallowed, foaming at the mouth. And so Jesus asked his father, "How long has this been happening to him?" So it seems like this has been happening for some time. And he tells us, and he said from childhood. So I don't know how old this kid is. He's like a young adult or a teenager. And often he has thrown him both into the fire and into the water to destroy him. But if you can do anything, have compassion and help us. And Jesus said to him, "If you can believe, all things are possible for him, to him who believes." And immediately the father, this is important, the child cried out and said with tears, "Lord, I believe, help my unbelief." And when Jesus saw that, the people came running together. He rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, "Deaf and dumb spirit, I command you, come out of him and enter him no more." And the spirit cried out and convulsed him greatly and came out, and he became as one dead. So they thought the kid was dead. And many said, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by his hand and lifted him up, and he arose. Interesting story. So you see the problems that are going on. You've got this kid who has somehow become demon possessed. Something is wrong. This, whatever the spirit is, has taken over some control of his body. You have a father who's kind of desperate, and he wants help for his child. But you see that there's been maybe several years, many years possibly, where life has been pretty miserable for this family. And so you've got all these problems coming together, but what does our verse come back to? Believing and trusting in God. So this guy, he says, "You know what? I believe, Lord, but help my unbelief." And I really think that's connected to this. So we want to have the kind of faith where God can work in our lives, but some of the time we have areas in our lives that it's just, we don't have as much faith as we think we should have, right? Or maybe we have some doubts. That's pretty common. What do we need to do? What did this father say? He said, "I believe, Lord, but help my unbelief. Help my unbelief." So there might be, perhaps something in your life that seems impossible. But remember that with God, nothing's impossible, right? We all know that. We can all quickly understand. I believe that God could do anything, but then there are some areas in life that, I have some doubts. I have to be honest. I think some of the time for each of us, unbelief can kind of creep in and prevent us from hearing from God and believing in God and trusting in God. All these things are true and possible. So we want to kind of remove those doubts. And so what do we need to do? What can we do when we start to have those doubts, when we have those moments of unbelief? Well, I think for the first thing is we need to just start praying and asking God and seeking him and knowing that he's going to work. Now, some of the time we can pray about something one time, and you know what? God is able to work through that one prayer in that instant in a miraculous way. Some of the times we have to pray 100 times before something happens. And it's not just one prayer right after, and maybe 100 days of praying, and then there's sometimes it could take 1,000 times of praying. And sometimes we might spend our whole life praying, and sometimes things will change for the better and sometimes they won't. But what's happening is we're learning to trust in God in his time, and we're believing, and we're asking God as we're praying, we're asking him in faith, believing that he can do it. And that is a challenge for us because God's timing, it can be a little bit different than ours, right? For God, he's outside of time, and like a day or 100 years, the Bible kind of says it's all the same to him. A minute or 1,000 years, to God, it's all the same. He's outside of our time frame. So we have to know that and understand that God's timing can always be a little different than ours. But the Bible tells us, and we've come across this before, that it's important that we keep praying. And at the end of the story, they asked Jesus, the disciples asked him, why couldn't we get this evil spirit to come out of this kid? And Jesus said, this one could only come out by prayer and fasting, he said. So sometimes there's that little extra effort that we have to do in the spiritual world where we have to ask God to help us. And we know that God loves us, right? And God wants the best for us. He's a good father, and a good father gives good gifts to his children. And if you believe in Jesus, you are a child of God. And so he's hearing your prayers. And if you're asking for something that would be good for you or benefit you, God's going to give that to you. Again, the timing I don't know about, and how he's going to solve that problem or that issue or that thing that you're asking him for help with. I don't know exactly how that will work, but you can have confidence and faith, and you can have the belief that God's going to work. Now, on the other side, are there going to be times when you wonder, I don't think this is ever going to change or ever going to get fixed, or God's ever going to answer my prayers? That side, all of us have that as well. That's called unbelief. We have those moments when we doubt. That's natural. We are humans. We're not wired exactly like God. So we can have those moments where our faith kind of falters a little bit. And then we can have times when our faith is really strong. But for us, we just want to set that pattern where we keep asking for God to work in our lives, maybe in the lives of somebody we care about, maybe about some situation, and then that expectation that he's going to do something. And like the situation in the story that we read today, this man, it doesn't sound like he had a lot of faith. And he said, Lord, I believe, but would you help my unbelief? And in the end, Jesus healed his son and did what was a miracle that other people couldn't do, Jesus' disciples can do. There's some things that only God can do. And I love that God is really big, and God is really amazing, and God is really powerful, and he can work in our lives, in my life or your life, in ways that we maybe didn't even expect or imagine, ways that will just like really make us say, wow, God, you are so amazing. And we want God to be amazing and really big. We don't want to limit him or make it to where we think, oh no, God, this is too big of a problem for God to solve. No, we never want to think like that. But to be honest, sometimes we're going to have those moments where there are some doubts, but we can ask God, help us to overcome our doubts and our fears and our worries and our unbelief, and work in our lives, increase our faith. Faith is so important in our connection with God. But again, it's not because we have a certain amount of faith, but it's because we have the faith in the one who has all the power and the one who can do all the good. And he wants to work in your life. So ask him. So that is kind of the key. Now, if you're a child of God, you want to keep bringing your requests to God. And, maybe you're not a part of God's family yet, but you could change that today. All right. If you want to become a part of God's family, it's simple. All you got to do is pray and put your trust and your faith in Jesus. Let's pray together today, huh? And let's ask God to work in our lives. So let's pray. Father, thank you so much for the time we've been able to share. You met us here. You've been here today with us while we were crafting or playing games or reading your word. All these things we are interested in our lives, and we are really grateful that you are. And so for us who know you, Lord, we're praying that you might increase our faith and you might remove unbelief from us. Again, help us always be mindful that it's not just about us, but it's about you. And we're trusting in you, and we're believing that you have great plans for us and you want to do good things in our lives. So again, increase our faith, Lord. Remove the unbelief. Help us. We need your help. And then, Lord, for those who don't know you yet, but maybe there are some out there who want to be a part of your family, just for you could just pray, Lord, come into my heart, and I want to have a relationship with you, and I want to believe in you and trust in you. I pray you would forgive me of all my sins and set me free of them. And Lord, just bring me into your family, and I want to follow you. and I want to believe in you and trust in you. And if you do that, you can be a part of God's family even today. So Lord, just bless those who maybe hear these words as we're praying and seeking and call upon you. And again, for your children, just bless us today. And for those who maybe just haven't made that next step, maybe today would be the day they decide to follow Jesus. And I just pray that you would impress upon them just how important that is to do that. And so thank you for hearing our prayers today, for being with us. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, great. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully some of you are still here with me. I want God to bless each of you with a wonderful day. We're having a good day here on Take Two Tuesday and in Southern California. Nice, kind of cool today. I think we're kind of hitting our fall weather. Remember, tonight, jump online with Stephanie at 5 o'clock. All right, we'll have a club reveal and we'll have some fun. Thanks for joining me today. Let's see, did I miss any things in the chat? I want to make sure I do that. Barbara says there is power in prayer. Yep. And Card Stamper says, even if we don't believe, we are still children of God. Yeah. We can have our moments where our faith is not that strong. Barbara said it's faith. Yeah. Don says our church was praying for a young lady who was in and out of a coma for a year. Now she's in therapy. Awesome. Jane says, thank you. Well, thank you again for joining me. I hope you, again, feel blessed and that you are a part of God's family and you can feel how much he loves you. That's important. So whatever you're doing today, making cards, cleaning house, hanging out with people, maybe you're spending time alone, I want you to feel blessed and loved by the Lord. And again, I'm thankful that you joined me for this episode. Went a little long today, but let's get out of here. I will see you again next week for Take Tuesday. I don't think I'll be on tonight, but Thursday for Crafting Corner or the HSN Sneak Peek, I will be there. Okay, I'm going to take off. Thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye. I'll see you soon.